Hello, everyone. Welcome to the World Hydrogen Week conference conducted by the World Hydrogen Leaders. My name is Bala Suresh, and I'm with S&P Global Commodity Insights and lead a team that focuses on industrial gases and fertilizers. Today we have Mark Chipping from Lloyds Register.
It's my pleasure to be here. Actually, the opportunity to come and meet so many people with like-minded interests and objectives within the industry is always a pleasure and without fail of great value to myself, Lloyds Register, and of course we hope to those that we talk to and engage with throughout the days of the conference.
Nice. Have you been to this conference before, or how many times have you been here?
Well, I've been to this conference now. This will be my third year coming to the conference, and it's really a pleasure to come back and see familiar faces and new faces, and also the new companies and the new ideas that emerge when you come and talk to people about what is going on in the energy transition and how they see that developing and evolving. So it's a great pleasure to be here for the third year, and we look forward to hopefully a fourth year.
Fantastic. As director of P2X, what exactly is your role in the company?
Well, I love the job title to start with because it means I can encompass so many different technologies within the energy transition. But to try and summarize it as briefly as possible, really what I'm looking at is how we produce alternative fuels using clean energy sources, but also some of those blue fuels as well. So it's really about impactful effects within the energy transition and helping our clients actually get to those end goals, because we're all on this journey together, and supporting each other is really the philosophy behind what LR does. And in fact, what we like to say and how we approach it is we like to do the right thing and support our clients in getting there and having that journey together.
Nice. When you're talking about blue fuels, you're looking at carbon capture, either utilization and storage after that. So how does that factor into your planning for these projects?
Well, CCUS, it's an impactful way of achieving some of the early goals of the energy transition, and we actually see that as fundamental if we are to get to net zero. Of course, what we want fundamentally is zero carbon impact, but that's a journey. So we are very happy to support our clients, whether it is looking at those truly renewable and truly clean solutions, or those that are going to help us get to that end point as well. So providing our services to them in that space is something we are very keen to do, and talk to them about what their aspirations are, but more importantly, what the challenges are in getting there as well.
Okay. Many countries have ambitious plans of getting to net zero at various points of time. Do you think, in general, the world will be moving towards net zero by 2050?
I think we will certainly be moving towards net zero by 2050, but I still think we will be on that journey. And technologies are going to help us get there. They're going to come in, they're going to phase out, and we're going to see new things emerge as we're on that journey. But absolutely, I believe we will be well and truly on our way by 2050. And what we see at the moment, I think, are those early days when there is much enthusiasm and a desire to see impact and progress, but we're yet to really achieve it. And that is what's so exciting about being in this space at this point in time.
That's very reassuring to hear. How long have your company been operating, and how long has it involved itself with the energy transition?
Well, you don't want me to give us a full history of Lloyds Register. There's 250 years of that to go through. But I'll summarize very briefly about where we've come from and what we're doing. We were set up 250 years ago to help ensure ships reached their destination safely. Now that has evolved over time, and I would describe very briefly what we do as we look at and develop the standards in the marine and offshore industry for the design and construction of assets. We then do the survey under construction of the asset and the equipment that goes into it. But just as importantly, we're with the clients for their journey through life to provide verification that those assets meet regulatory requirements and the project requirements and the standards as well. Now, of course, this conference is not primarily about the maritime industry, and LR has grown well beyond that as well. We support industries well beyond just the marine and the offshore industries ourselves now through a variety of services, but with that fundamental approach to safety always being at the heart of what we do in ensuring that projects are designed safely using effective standards to achieve both safety and project goals as well. Whether it floats or it's fixed to the bottom or you're sitting it on land, we want to be there with you on that journey.
Sure. We all hear of different colors of hydrogen depending on the kind of source and production methods of producing clean hydrogen. You have nuclear and wind and solar. How do you distinguish between one technology versus other when you're selecting for a particular project in a particular geography?
Well, we don't select that technology. We are technology agnostic in our approach. Our role is to help clients ensure that their projects are safe and that they meet those regulatory requirements. So whilst, yes, that phraseology is used around the different colours of fuels, I actually think it's far more important that we do this safely with an end goal of net zero in sight. So we will support those projects, and all of them have their role and place to play in the energy transition, and that's a role we're very happy to perform.
There's a lot of talk on using ammonia as maritime fuel. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, firstly, let's get around the issue that a lot of people have around the transport of ammonia. It's actually been going on a long time already and in bulk. That is not something which is new. What is new is using it as a primary fuel in a much large proportion of the world's fleet. That is very different. And with that do come some very significant challenges around how do you do that safely. And that is why LR has worked very hard, and it works very hard with its peers and its colleagues in the marine industry to ensure that those systems and technologies that are developed are safe. And that is an ongoing challenge in delivering that. And I would say we're still very much on that journey at the moment. But it's exciting to see those first projects start to move and to be built and to be part of that.
Nice. You have been in this conference for a couple of days. How are you enjoying it, and what do you see things different from earlier years?
Well, what is interesting is the way that the story changes and evolves from year to year. I think when I first took on the role of Power to X Director at LR, the energy transition was at a much earlier stage with a lot of ideas and, very importantly, ambition. What we see now in sort of the following years is a coalescing of those ideas into a firmer pathway to actually achieving impact. And after all, it is impact in the energy transition which is going to be fundamental and the whole reason that we're doing this. And by coming to these conferences, you can actually see where those ideas are moving and developing. Some fall beside the wayside and new ones come in to take their place. So it's a very exciting time to come and do this and actually keep engaged with a much broader part of the energy transition than you do just working within your company or within the specific niches of your industry.
Is there anything else that you'd like to convey to the conference?
I think there is, and that is remain excited about the energy transition. I have been very fortunate to have been a marine and offshore engineer for the majority of my career of over 30 years. This is the most exciting time to be engaged in these industries. The most challenging, yes, but I have never been more engaged or more excited about what I am doing than I am today.
Mark, thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the conference.